Well, hello everybody. Welcome to P.B.M. Money. Today, I think this will be the last in our series of customer service issues that I've had. And I just want to start by saying, just because the stories are over doesn't mean we can stop trying to insist that businesses and service places give us good customer service, and we need to vote with our money. That's the only thing they understand is money. So, did you get what I did with the title? This one's about Lowe's, by the way, and the T in the enclosures means lowest. Lowest. Lowe's is the lowest. Okay, so if you've watched any of my stuff, you know that our ministry owns a little house, rental house. We finally got the scumbags out of there, and I have to replace the carpet, which I knew I was going to. I've been saving for it. It's not a huge deal. And so I had a local carpet company come over, and they measured the square footage, and it was 410 square feet. Very small. And some of the facts is, if you lay it this one way, there will be no seams because the rooms are no bigger than 12 feet, and a roll of carpet is 12 feet. The only seaming will be at the doors, so there will be 4 cuts, 2 bedrooms, a living room, and a little teeny hallway. All right? 4 cuts, 3 seams, no waste. Shouldn't be, except where you seam. And if you cut them at the right size, it should be no problem. But to lay 410 square feet of carpet, they wanted to charge me $1,500. I thought that was outrageous. My realtor told me about a deal that Lowe's was having. Free rip out of carpet and pad, free installation of carpet and pad, and all I had to do was spend $1.50 per square foot. Sounds like a good deal. So I did the math, and it was a good deal, half price. So I went into Lowe's, and there's a great big sign right in front, and I'm talking to the flooring manager, and I was telling him the deal, and he says, no, that's not how that works. It doesn't include padding, and you have to spend $1.80. So I took him around, and I showed him the sign. And he said, wow, I've never noticed that before. Now, this isn't a brand new deal. The reason my realtor knew about it is because the week before, he'd already taken advantage of the deal. That means it's been around for 3 weeks, because the quickest you can get it installed is 2 weeks. So that deal's been around for 3 weeks, and this flooring manager either didn't know it, which I don't believe, or he was trying to lie to me. I believe that. So anyway, so we go back and look at the carpeting, and I picked one. It was $101 a square foot. And then the padding was 79 cents a square foot. So I spent $1.80 a square foot, and all I needed was $1.50. So we're good to go. So he writes it up, and he says the guy will give you a call when he's ready to come out and measure. And I said, okay, how long is it going to be? It'll be a week at least, but he'll call you. When the local carpeting guy came out there, he was there the next day. This guy's going to take a week. Okay. So the week comes, and he goes in, he measures the carpeting, And he says, this is on a Friday, and he says, I will put it together this afternoon. I will get it to him over the weekend. You should be hearing from him by Monday with the bid. I said, okay. So Monday comes, no call. All the way through Friday, no call. Waited through the weekend. Next Monday, I called him, and he said, it's going to be $900 and some. I said, that is not accurate. I said, how many square feet do you have? 480 some square feet. I said, that is not accurate. I said, I will be right there. So I go into the Lowe's again, and the two guys at the counter can't figure out why he's got so much excess. Now, I'm a painter. I've been around I was in maintenance. I know all about carpeting and waste and seaming and all that, okay? I understand that there's waste, and when there's a lot of seaming, there is a lot of waste. As I mentioned earlier, there will be no seaming except at the doors. And all you have to do is cut it right at the store. There should be very little waste. So they called the guy. The guy says it works out to 14%, and 14% is the industry average for waste on a carpet insulation. And I said that's accurate in a larger home where there's lots of seams. Where it's a smaller home and there is no seaming except at the doors, you should be able to do that with very little. And if you can't, you need new installers. They didn't like that very much. So a couple of days goes by, and I have to call them, and he says, oh yes, our manager called their manager and they went over it and everything's accurate. I said, well, when can I get it installed? And they said, well, you got to come in and fill out the paperwork, and then it's 2 days after that they'll call you and schedule, and it usually takes 2 to 3 weeks after that. I said, are you kidding me? I've already messed around with you guys for 2 weeks. But I'm on my way. So I go down there, I sign all the papers, I pay 25% higher than it should be. And to let you know how much waste we're talking about, I'm paying for enough carpeting to do a 12 by 7 bedroom, and they're calling that waste. That's another bedroom in this little house. It's outrageous. There's 410 square feet, and I'm paying for over 800 square feet. That is outrageous. Anyway, so I go in and I pay all the money, I do all the things, sign all the papers, and he said, well, they'll be in touch with you in 2 days. I said, wait a minute. You told me on the phone that if I came in here and paid, that you were going to schedule that. So he calls them up. He says, they'll be calling you in about 5 minutes. I said, okay. So I go up, and on my way out, I decided to stop and talk to the store manager. The store manager couldn't have been more rude. He couldn't have given less shits. I told him the whole thing. He just looked at me blankly. And as I'm leaving, he says, I'll look into it. I said, of course you will. And I walked out. As I'm walking out, the phone rings, and it's the scheduling company. And the girl starts giving me this rigmarole, so then I started asking questions, which people don't like when you ask questions, by the way. I said, so explain to me now why it's going to take 2 to 3 days to schedule this instead of doing it right now. Well, we have to make sure the carpet gets cut. I said, what does one have to do with the other? Put me in a slot, and if the carpet's not cut, I've cut carpeting, okay? It takes about 20 minutes to cut 4 pieces. And then she says, well, then we have to wait for the contract to be finalized. I said, so let me get this right. In this day of computers where I could get online and I can buy anything in the world with a credit card and have it delivered in 24 hours, you're telling me it's going to take Lowe's 48 hours to verify my contract. that I'm paying with a credit card. Is that what you're telling me? And she said, sir, I don't know how to explain that to you. I said, well, obviously. She said, they'll be in touch with you in 2 days, within 2 days. I said, okay. That was on a Monday. Wednesday comes, no phone call. Thursday comes, I get a phone call. I'm thinking, oh, good, I'm going to get... So I get a girl on the phone, and she says, this is so-and-so, and this is just a courtesy call to thank you for buying your carpeting and to let you know that we'll be contacting you in the next 2 days to set up a schedule to install your carpet. I said, wait a minute. I've already done this. I did this on Monday. You were supposed to call me yesterday to schedule. Oh, no, sir, this is just a customer. I said, okay, so 2 days. Does that mean tomorrow or Saturday? And she said, oh, we don't work on Saturday and Sunday, so it'll be either tomorrow or Monday. But hopefully it'll be tomorrow. Well, I said, well, I hope so, because it will have been a week since I paid. Friday came, no call. Monday came, no call. Tuesday, today, I come home, I check my mail, my credit card bill is in there with the $900 charge to Lowe's. So in the amount of time that it has taken them, they haven't even scheduled me to put it in, but it has gone through my credit card company, ended up on my statement, got mailed to me, and opened by me. So then I go back to work and the phone rings. And now they want to set a schedule for 2 weeks in advance. I've now wasted 3 weeks. In 2 weeks it will have been 5 weeks. 5 weeks to get 400 square feet of carpeting installed. Unfreaking believable. And here's... I paid that with credit card, $900. The Lowe's company has had $900 of my money for over a week and will have had it for 3 or 4 weeks by the time I get my carpet. That doesn't seem right to me. How do they get to keep $900 of my money for 3 or 4 weeks before I get my carpet? The manager never did get back to me. Remember when he said he would check into it, and I said, of course you will? He never did, and I knew he wouldn't. And I told the manager when I was there, I said, I came here because of a recommendation from my realtor. I will never come back here. I said, I like your company. I used to shop here. Key phrase being used to. But your flooring people don't know what the hell they're doing. And you obviously don't care. What should have cost me $600 is going to cost me $900 because your installers don't know what they're doing. And this is a piece of rental property which I've made perfectly known up front. So every day that it sits vacant, I'm losing money. And by the time the carpeting is installed, assuming they keep their word, it will have been 5 weeks. That's a month worth of rent in an $800 a month apartment. So take the $900 plus the $800 they cost me is $1,700. I should have just gone to the local store, paid the $1,300 and had it done and rented already. Lesson learned. Now I have decided that when they install that carpet, I am going to be there. And I'm going to take every scrap and bag it up, and I'm going to take it back to Lowe's. I'm going to say, this is the crap I paid for. I told you it was too much. Now I'm not going to insist on a refund, but I want you to see you need new damn installers. $5 weeks to install 408 square feet of carpeting. And nobody cares. Nobody cares. The installers, they don't care. The manager, he didn't care. He barely gave me lip service. He was more interested in getting his mask on than talking business with me. The manager in the flooring department never did have the cojones to call me. And the two kids that were working back there, they both saw the problem. But nobody listened because nobody cares. And the whole time I was working there, or was talking to the workers there, none of them looked me in the eye. None of them. Oh, and by the way, when the manager quoted me the price on the padding, he quoted me 79 cents a square foot. When I went in to sign the contract, I asked the guy to make sure he wasn't overcharging me. I said, how much is the padding? And he went over and looked. He said, it's 75 cents a square foot. I said, okay. So that guy, he was trying to screw me from the first time I walked in the door. And the only reason I didn't is because I read the sign. So Lowe's is the lowest. Don't go to Lowe's. Go to Menards. If you want to get flooring, go to the local company. It might seem more expensive up front, but in the long run, it'll be cheaper, I promise you. And the job will probably be a lot better. Now, I want to tell you, as we wrap up this series, I am not out to hurt anybody. I don't want to give anybody bad names. The purpose of these is to insist that we, the people, get good customer service. Something has happened in our country where it's okay to crap on the customer. That seems to be the okay thing to do, especially, well, I won't go down that road. That's not okay. It's not okay to do that. It's not okay to try to lie to the customer to try to make extra money, to cover up for the deal. It's not okay to give, as a manager, to give the customer lip service just to get them the hell out of your office. That's not okay. And it's not okay to break your word when it says 2 days and it takes a week and a day. All the way around, this whole thing has been one big customer service screw up, and nobody has yet apologized. Nobody has done anything to make it right. A decent manager, store manager at Lowe's, would have honestly looked into it and called me up and said, hey, you know what, you were right on that overage. You know, we're going to leave the overage there and you can keep the carpet, but we're going to knock, you know, $50 off or whatever. That's what a good manager would have done. Because he's making money on an additional 84 square feet of carpeting that isn't going to be used, that he's making me pay for. It's not right. Vote with your dollars and vote with your feet. Insist on good customer service and let these workers and supervisors and managers know that we the people are mad as hell and we're not taking it anymore. Well, that's about the end of this series. There will probably be more editions as we go along, but for here and for now, this is the end of it. I hope you enjoyed it, and happy retailing and happy investing.